Throughout football history, wise men have congregated to bring you the best stats, predictions, and analysis of the game. These are not those men. 3 derelict Oakland Raiders fans expelled from clown school for shaping inappropriate balloon animals at children's birthday parties and borrowing the school clown car to attend a Murphy's Law gig in Brooklyn. With no ambitions outside of rodeo barrel racing and the Shiner Circus, they made their way to the rolling hills of northwestern New Jersey and established a home at the Irish Cottage Inn. Surrounded by Jets and Giants fans, they called in reinforcements and established a circus sideshow of their own, known as the New Jersey chapter of the Black Hole. Join the party each week on the Fan Club Blitz, a wild ride into the world of die-hard football team fan clubs from across the globe with your hosts, Splatterhead, Fitz, and Tom, Clown School Rejects.
All right, here we are. Fitz. Hey, what's happening?
Hey, what's happening?
Tom. What's going on, guys?
Not a lot.
Another day.
We got a preseason game coming up today.
Absolutely. Very excited about that.
About like an hour or so?
Yeah, about 45 minutes
About 45 minutes.
We
Kickoff,
are back at the LA Coliseum.
Oh,
The
Sign-
gold
yeah.
Rams.
we had quite a bit of success there.
We did.
Yes.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a big trophy there.
Yeah. Personally, I think they should be flying that Super Bowl flag over the stadium today.
Absolutely.
You know.
That would be actually pretty cool if they did.
I'm sure somebody's going to be flying.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody's got it.
I have a feeling that stadium is going to be blacker than black.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how many Rams fans could there be? You know, plus they had that hiatus going over to St. Louis all those years.
Hey, listen, LA is a Raiders town,
Yeah.
so it's
rightly
definitely
so.
going to be fun. What are you guys looking for in this game?
Just a little bit more of what we saw last week. I want to see Carr doing a little bit more rolling on the rollouts, and I want to see the offensive line just making the blocks like they should be doing. Continue with the defense too. I mean, we look good defensively. You know, like we said last week, it's a preseason game. Doesn't mean a whole heck of a lot, but if one thing needs to be addressed from last season, it is the defense. So hopefully we see a little bit more out of that.
I'm expecting this to be an incredibly vanilla game.
Yeah.
Considering,
Yeah, I would have to. Yeah.
Considering we played the Rams on opening day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chucky's he's been in the game too long. He's not going to give anything away.
Yeah, these things get scheduled, before the season does, and it's just the way it panned out.
I'm interested in see what Arden Key does.
Yeah.
Since it'll be his first game.
And what position is Donald Penn playing?
I don't know.
I'm guessing he's going to be in the game a little bit more because he's playing, I believe, on the opposite side of the center than he's used to.
Yeah, but right tackle. But Gruden said that's not set in stone.
Right, but I think we might look at it today
Yeah.
and see what happens.
I have to interject with this because now we're starting to sound like a serious football analytical group here.
Yes.
I mean,
All right.
the one thing that's going to be important about this preseason game that's been overlooked in this conversation so far is that our whole group is going to be watching it at the Irish Cottage, where the drinks will be flowing, and after that, that's really all that matters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, so let's we get a little bit too serious here. I mean, I feel like I should be wearing some type of scholarly hat or something.
Right. All right. Well, we don't want to give you any scholarly hats.
I'm starting to shake a little bit now.
We've I have a direction plan for the show when the season starts. So I have lined up for all of the Raiders away games during the season. We're going to be talking to Raiders booster clubs and black hole chapters that reside in those cities.
Awesome.
All right, so I've got most of the games lined up already. We'll do the interview the week before, and then for the home games in Oakland, I'm trying to reach out to clubs that support the visiting teams. So far, the only one that I've gotten a response from is the Sea Chickens.
Okay. We'll mark down that they're not
Yeah,
That's right.
close though. They're less.
Yes, less of
Right.
than the rest of them.
Right. They have the cojones
Yeah.
to step up to the plate. So that should be fun, man.
Oh,
I think it's
definitely,
gonna be a good way to, in the off season we can talk to other teams and
Yeah.
and do all kinds of stuff. But then in the once the season starts, we'll try it that way and see what happens.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, there's a lot of these teams out there don't even seem to have fan clubs or booster clubs, or they don't have any kind of social media presence or whatever.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, supposedly they all have better fan bases than the Raiders do, but I can
Yeah.
find a booster club for the Raiders in practically anywhere.
Yeah, about 3.5 seconds on Google.
Right.
Right.
Hey, Fitz, you were wrong last week.
Yeah, you. I saw that.
We somebody was listening in Alabama.
Who would have thought? And you know what? If you're still listening to this show, I mean, you downloaded it once. If you watching it, listening to it again, you need to call us because I need to talk to an Alabama person listening to our Raider podcast. Here.
Whoever's listening to this podcast in Alabama, pick up your phone, 732-798-0257. Leave us a message. We'll get back to you.
Yes, we need to. I need more info here.
Right. Like I said, there's probably some Raiders fans down there just because of the Stabler.
Gotta be, yeah.
They don't have a, they're big into college football, but they don't have a pro team.
Yeah.
There's got to be some like kind of mentally
I
challenged old timers like us that remember
I would
Stabler.
guess between, colleges down there, there's got to be Raider fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got to be Raider fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some over the hill geezers like ourselves that remember Stabler. They must be down there. Give us a get in touch with us. I need
Stabler's
since
a
I've been
legend in
called out-
Alabama. Not just he's not just a legend among Raider fans, but he's an Alabama legend. They love Kenny Stabler. So
And we also want to know if you have any more cell phone videos of nicer women shaving themselves in pools.
Yes.
Than the one that we've seen. That would be a great thing to impart on humanity.
right, because we can't get the other one out of our head.
Yeah,
and it
that
ain't
was
good.
that was disturbing, man.
Oh, yeah, that's forever going to be. Yeah, that's not a good sign.
No,
No, not at all.
very disturbing. So what we got lined up for today?
Well, I believe we will be talking to a New York City Dallas Cowboys fan club.
Yeah, that's right. Dallas Cowboy fan club. They meet up. I believe the place is called Playwright. It's Hell's Kitchen. It's a famous. I don't know if you're into I know you are into Irish gangster history from Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen is the place to be.
If you read the book, the Westies, you're gonna see the Playwright mentioned in there quite a few times.
Yeah.
It was it was very central to the old Hell's Kitchen crew.
Yes, that's actually some. If nobody's familiar with it, I would suggest researching because it is some pretty interesting history and stories of the Irish mob in New York.
Yeah. So what do you guys think we get this interview going? Because I don't know what your experience is. I was actually raised by a Cowboy fan. I can tell you from my own experience, they like to talk. So
Yeah, that's true.
I have a feeling we're going to be in for a long ride here. So
Most likely.
buckle up, hold on, and let's get this Cowboy fan on the phone.
Okay.
Gets the festivities underway from the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum as the Oakland Raiders, with the best record in pro football, 11-2. There they are with Coach John Madden. Take on the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, an 8-5 record, which belies really their strength power. They are a dynamite, explosive ball club.
They are, the Raiders are, but I said something at the very top of the program, Frank, and I said it because Cliff Harris, 43 of the Cowboys, came over to me. And he said, don't you think we should be in the playoffs? I said, you would have been, Cliff, if you had won enough games.
All right, so on the line today, we have Tave, who is the founder of... What's the name of your club? I know it's a Cowboys fan club in New York, correct?
Right. It's the original NYC hardcore Dallas Cowboy fans.
All right, so that's got to be fun being a Dallas Cowboys club in Big Blue Land, right?
Yeah, it is. It's gotten more challenging over the last few years. I think the Giants, and I'm going to be honest, I do call them the midgets occasionally. When they get a little bit full of themselves, it can be a challenge. But I've been doing it. This will be our 13th year. So we're calling it Lucky 13, which hopefully means we'll go to the Super Bowl and we'll win. But I was born and raised in New York, and I've been a Cowboy fan for 42 years. And I had moved. I went to college and graduate school in Ohio, and I came back, and I was just kind of tired of only seeing the Cowboys twice a year when they played the Giants. And that's how I started the group. And it's really interesting. I've realized that in my wardrobe, I only have work professional clothes and then Dallas Cowboy shirt. And so pretty much when I'm not working, I'm walking around in Dallas Cowboy gear. And it gets, believe it or not, I have not had too many really negative responses. There have been some incidents here and there, but in general, people will be like, Cowboys, and I'll say, how about them Cowboys? Or I'll say, gotta love them. Or usually what I say is, when you get to 5, you can talk to me. That's usually my response. Till you have 5, then you really can't talk to me.
All right.
Yeah, the Giants fans are real homers, so,
Well, but they haven't always been. I have to tell you that. Even in the beginning of the club, when we first started the club, we allowed anybody in. In fact, we have a lot of mixed couples, as I call them, and that's not racially, that's Dallas Cowboy fans and Giant fans. And we've had them in, and it hasn't been a problem. But round about year 5, we had an incident with brothers where one was a Cowboy fan and one was a Giant fan. Actually, maybe it was a little further along. It was the year that Tony Romo broke his collarbone against the Giant. And, we're pretty respectful. I try to tell the club, we don't cheer for injuries. That's really tacky. So we don't do that, really. But
we
when, yeah, right. And when Tony Romo went down, the other brother jumped up and started applauding. And I mean, I thought it was going to be a full-on melee. Like, I felt like I was in the dog pound in Cleveland, and I was a Ravens fan. Like, I felt like that's what was getting ready to go down. Like, it was just a complete uproar. I had the bouncer throw them both out. It started, and from that point on, we got to the point where we're like, you know what? You have to be a Dallas Cowboy fan to come into the bar. And I try to tell people, you got to understand, I would not walk up into a Redskins bar in Dallas Cowboy gear. Disrespectful. Respect the star. Now, I've also told people, you are completely allowed to be a fan of another team when you walk into that bar. You just need to be in the closet.
There you go.
And you aren't allowed to come out. So, and we do. We have a couple that they are longtime Cowboy. She's a longtime Cowboy fan. He's a Giant fan, and we literally did not know this till, I guess, 4 or 5 years ago. He was taking off a sweater. And as he was taking off the sweater, he didn't realize he pulled all the way up, and we saw he had on a Giant T-shirt underneath there. And we were like, what? Oh, my God, forcibly removed. We have to have him forcibly removed, which was my joke. And we didn't know that that's what he was. And he was very, very respectful all of the time he was there. And so 2 weeks after that, we do raffles. And it ended up that I actually won one of the Cowboy jerseys. And as the owner of the group, I was like, no. So I gave it to his then girlfriend. The next week, he came in with the jersey on, and I told him, you have never looked better than you do right now in that Dallas Cowboy jersey, and you'll never look better in anything else other than that. And so we have a great time. They got married. They had a baby. And we literally, as an entire group, agreed that season, whoever won the season, that's what the baby was going to be. Well, that was the year that the Dallas Cowboys swept the Giants a couple of years ago. So he's a little Dallas Cowboy baby. I have taught him how to throw up the X. He has a Jason Witten jersey. He has an 88 jersey, and his father can say nothing about it. And we love that. It just works out really well. We had a San Francisco fan come in last year. She was super sweet, and she was in with a Dallas Cowboy fan. And what I said is, you know what, I'm going to be really honest. people are going to be really offended. We have people who come from Connecticut, people who come from Jersey. I drive in from Westchester. I was like, they're coming to a Cowboy bar. They're not coming to a San Francisco bar. I was like, and you guys suck. But even in your sucking, you're still not the Cowboys. So I need you to turn the jersey inside out.
I like how you're so nice to everybody, but you still somehow tell them they suck.
Yeah, I'm really good at that. I do that at work. It's called Nice Nasty. I've perfected it. I really have. I'm really going to get a patent for it if I can. And I had to tell her that. And so it's been pretty good. This is the first year we moved to a new bar last year. So it was kind of breaking in that whole new group. And the bouncer, God love him, had no concept of what jerseys meant what. And he would do things like, if you didn't have on Cowboys gear, you must not be a Cowboys fan. And he kept throwing people out. And I had to run downstairs and go, no, wait. You can be a Cowboy fan and not be wearing Cowboy gear. You can't be a Cowboy fan and be wearing an Eagles jersey. That's just clear. Right. So I had to kind of break them in, and we've done that. And yes, we've had a couple of incidents. We had an incident with an Eagle fan who was very angry that he got asked to leave the bar. And he actually came after me another day that I was in the bar. It wasn't a football game at all. I was actually there doing some planning, and he saw me going upstairs, and he really confronted me, and he was exceptionally rude. And the owner, and the guy lived in the neighborhood, and the owner banned him from the bar. He's like, number one, you never speak to a woman like that. Number two, you definitely don't speak to her like that. And so he's banned from the bar. And that wasn't my request. I kept it very low at the time because the bar was full. I didn't want it to be, a full-on reality TV show melee. So I just stayed kind of calm, and on the side, I told him what happened. So they take us very seriously. And of course, you know why, not for nothing. They've never had a football club there. And he's always wanted one. And so he understands, during football season, I rule the world, which is pretty okay with me.
Well, tell us about the bar. What's the name of it so people can find you?
Yeah, and where is it?
Absolutely. So it's Playwright 35th, and it's on 35th Street between 5th and 6th. And it's an Irish pub. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is so comfortable. One of the reasons why I wanted to go there, besides the fact I'm going to be honest, for like 6 years, they stalked me. At the beginning of every season, they'd send me this lovely email, and they would say, we heard you have this great cowboy group. We'd love to host you. And I would say, thank you, but no thank you. Then at the end of the season, they'd be like, how did the season go? We'd love to host you. And I'd say, thank you, but no thank you. And then finally, before last season began, I really knew I needed to make a change. And we met, and they were amazing. We did the draft. We did the draft there last April. It was amazing. You walked in and you thought you were in Texas. They had banners. They had balloons. It was amazing. They had a flag outside. It was really just awesome. And not for nothing, we're a really awesome fan base, even though, inside ourselves, we're like a family, right? So we're allowed to say, I was a homosexual for a long time. I was really into Romo. I loved him. And then I was over him, and I was tired of the Romo coaster. And it was hilarious. We would be in the middle of the bar fighting. We have one guy, Ty, who were like, can you stop crying? He would do that's my QB. We were like, shut it up. Like, get over him. Can you get over Romo? And between ourselves, we would have really these deep knockdown, drag-out fights. Who should we have taken? What's wrong with Jerry Jones? Well, we all know he has a special issue. But outside of that, we were like, oh, my God, what are we going to do? What about our offensive line? And we really, argue and fight like a family. But if anybody outside the family comes in, we link arms, and it doesn't really go well. The bar is awesome. It's 2 floors right now, but they're actually building a 3rd floor, which is amazing because that's going to allow us to go up to the 3rd floor as well. We have a Cowboys menu. So we have a Dallas Cowboy menu. And one of the things that I do during preseason is we play trivia. for a couple of games, we play trivia for the first hour before the game starts. And if you win trivia, you get to name an item on the menu. I think some people got very confused the first time, and Ty thought he was naming it after himself. I was like, do you play for the Cowboys, dude? This is a Cowboys bar. It's a Cowboys menu. We're not naming something after you unless you play for the Cowboys. And then he understood. Tony Dorsett is my favorite player. Ever. And then DeMarcus Ware, who I used to tell people he was my baby daddy, although I don't have any kids, and he never knew that. Just love me some DeMarcus Ware. So, we put on there was Tony Dorsett sliders. There was a DeMarcus Ware burger. So we name it all kinds of different things. We've had the Bob Lilly. We had Roger Staubach, and people get to use their favorite player's name to name something on the menu. There are amazing drink and pitcher specials. And one of the differences about Playwright that was really amazing to me as somebody who had been running a group for a very long time, they let me set the price because, people don't want to go in. You're sitting there for a minimum of 3 hours watching a game, and you don't want to basically have to mortgage your house. And so they were really awesome about the pricing. The pricing is really reasonable. The food is really great. The staff are adorable in terms of we have shirts now, which are incredible, and all of the staff wear shirts. They all wear Dallas Cowboy shirts when they're at one of our games. And one day, one of the staff came in. He's not a native to this country, and so he didn't quite understand that when he walked in wearing a Giant shirt, it ended up being something his sister gave him, and he really didn't quite get it. So he came in one day for work in a Giant shirt, and literally, it was like the walk of shame. He had to get to the back of the bar to put stuff down, and the entire way it was like the walk of shame. People were like, what are you doing? Take that off. What are you doing? So he got to me, and he was hilarious. He's like, did I offend you? I'm so sorry. I would never offend you. I love you. I said, it's okay. You just need to take the shirt off. So he took the shirt off, and that's the fun stuff. It's a really comfortable environment, but not for nothing. We're all having serious dialogue. There are people who, nobody really. Well, look, Jerry Jones has made us a $4.2 billion franchise, which is, actually at 4.4. We're at 4.4. Great. But some of his football decisions haven't been the best. So that's definitely something everybody in the bar agrees on. I can tell you we are split completely down the middle. Half of the people in the group are very angry that Dez is gone. Half of the people in the group believe Dez should be gone. So we have these really deep, meaningful conversations, and the draft is amazing because there's always a discussion about should we go this, should we go that, was that a good pick? So it really is about having a really good time. We also do shot specials. We also do just anything. We also do Babies Day. So people are allowed to bring their kids in, which is not a problem. So that's what we do.
Cool. So now, do you have like a Facebook page or a website for people want to get in contact?
We do. So yes, so we do have a Facebook page, and it is the original NYC Dallas Cowboy fan group. We're linked to Playwright 35th Facebook page. We are on Meetup, which is how I started this whole thing. And we've just gone over 1,300 people in the group, which is one of the largest Dallas Cowboy fan groups outside of Texas. Just this week, Meetup.com identified us as the #1 meetup of the week.
Oh, very cool.
How cool is that?
So,
cool.
So basically, from everything you've talked about here, do you have like a team of 40, 50 people that do background checks on people that want to join your group, or just to make sure?
Well, no. People are pretty good. One of the things that I did when I started it 13 years ago, I used my nickname, which is Tave. I did not put my name, which is Octavia, up there. And the picture that goes that's above my name is actually Tony Dorsett's picture. And the reason why I did that is because I didn't want it to be there would be a perception that it's a bunch of girls and it's a powder puff group of girls who are like, oh my God, I love tight ends. Let's wear pink. Yeah, I'm not Jessica Simpson. Like, I'm really sitting there talking about, really, do we want a 4-3 or do we want a 3-4? Like, I didn't want there to be this perception that it was a bunch of girls. So I'm not going to lie to you. I love when someone comes in and they're like, I need to meet Tay. Who's Tay, the organizer of this group? And they point to me, and literally they go, you're a girl. And I'm like, well, that is what the doctor said. I am a girl. How about that? And then they're like, oh, well, and then they all crush. Like, right after that. Right after they move from you're a girl, they immediately all crush on me because I'm a girl that can really talk football. But I've kept it that way because it's not a hookup spot, although not for nothing, some have happened. It's not about that. It really is about getting fans together. We're very fortunate. I shouldn't say almost every single game, we have at least one person that's visiting from Texas who's found us online and are there. And I usually shout them out at halftime. So, it's been a very thoughtful process on my part. It's been something that I really enjoy. And, my mom, God rest her soul, my mother was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Yeah, so that proved to be real interesting. I will tell you what my mother said. I still think, I don't believe this part. I remember falling in love with Tony Dorsett at 10, because what else do you do when you're a 10-year-old? You crush. So I fell in love with Tony Dorsett, and that's how I became a Dallas Cowboys fan. My mother swears when I was 2, she would put me in the playpen. And, those were the days in the 70s where really majority of the games you were seeing that were televised were, Dallas versus Pittsburgh, Green Bay versus the Vikings. Like, you weren't seeing a lot of, you saw the Jets in the Super Bowl, but you weren't seeing a lot of these different types of games. So my mother said I'd be there. She said I was a very happy baby. That game would come on. She said no matter what Pittsburgh did, she would clap her hands, she would smile, she would turn to me, she would try to get me to smile, and I wouldn't crack a smile. She said as soon as they showed the Dallas Cowboys or the Dallas Cowboys would do something, I would just start smiling and clapping my hands. And I was like, Mom, I really don't believe that. She goes, why would I lie? She goes, I really wouldn't lie about that. She's like, but Octavia, you loved them from the beginning.
So you've been a fan since before you could walk.
She swears that that's where it came from. I just remember 10 and thinking I had walked into the living room to try to con her into letting me watch the big, pretty colored TV. She was watching the game. She told me to stop and wait till a commercial. So I'm sitting on the couch waiting, and Tony Dorsett used to have this habit of putting his helmet up on his forehead. And so you could see his face in the helmet, and he did that, and literally, the angels sang to this 10-year-old, and I was in love, and that's when it began. And I'll tell you, I thought it was going to be like my love of tennis, very, very brief. I thought it was going to be like my love of racquetball, very, very brief. And yet here I am at age 52, running this group, loving it.
Hey, I just turned 52 today.
Oh, and look at you, and you're another Leo. See, that's why we're in charge. That's why we rule the world. You see, we were meant to know one another. We were. And, it does bring me a certain amount of joy. I'm not going to kid you. I do love that when I walk in the bar, it's like Norm from Cheers. I'm not going to lie. Like, they made me my own glass. It was hilarious. They order, I drink Behringer White Moscato only. They order it for me. I walk in. Before I ever get to my seat, there's a glass waiting for me. They're amazing. The owner of Playwright has said to me, you know what? You're in charge. And so we have this great opportunity that just came up the other day. George Meyer is a best-selling New York Times author. He is writing a book about the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? And he called and they want to do a book signing with my club. I'm like, okay, now that's awesome. So John, the owner of Playwright, was hilarious. The woman called me and she goes, he really bows down to you. He was like, oh, no. Cave is in charge of everything. What Cave says goes. So I'm not going to lie. It feels pretty good. I walk in there. I'm the one who says whether you stay or you go, which, it's very powerful. It's very powerful. And we are there for every game. And we do try to set a really great environment. But I'm not going to lie. That is, I work in nonprofit, which means, of course, I don't profit. And it also means I work really long hours. It is wonderful for me to spend one day a week. And yes, I drive from Westchester to Manhattan, which is an hour. And I get there, and all of that time that's there, it's nothing but joy. Even when we're losing, I just love to see them play. I love to be around the fans. So for me, it's an amazing personal outlet. And then we're very fortunate. The group has been in the Dallas Morning News twice. I was on Fox News. We've been in the New York Times. We were in the Wall Street Journal. We were in AM New York. I don't even think that paper exists anymore. I was on page 3 of the Daily News.
And now you're on the fan club Blitz.
And now you're on the fan club
I love
Blitz.
this.
And you're worldwide now.
Yeah, I'm going to say the fan club Blitz, I'm going to be truthful with you, probably gets a lot more coverage than any of those newspapers now. They really do.
Now the bar you're at, and they buy you your wine, they don't serve weird stuff like cucumber beer and toasted marshmallow, do they?
No, we don't do that.
Then you're light years ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs bar in Queens.
We're not into that. Like, the most foo-foo we'll get is sangria in the summer. And then I even make them bump that up. I do a sangria margarita.
Yeah, we're down with sangria.
There you go.
Yeah. So we do that. Yeah, we don't do that. What we do, though, and I'm going to tell you, is something because I had just moved over to there, and so many people had been coming to the previous bar that never ever went to the website anymore because they knew we were there. So when we wanted to build this back up, that was a commitment I made to John. When I moved over, I said, I'm going to put the same amount of energy, if not more, into the group so that it grows the same way I grew when I was at the previous bar. So I have done so much with Kim. Kim is the manager, and she's like my partner in crime. Kim and I do things like, if they do a Yelp review for us, now they have to show me that they did it. I mean, I love my fans, but let's be honest. I don't trust them for not going to throw them. So I make sure they show me that they've done a Yelp review, and then we give them a free shot of anything that's on the bar. So we're really using social media to grow the group. We've also, if they sign up with Meetup, they get a free shot. We do giveaways at halftime, which is awesome. We really are making it fan fun. Nice. There were absolutely a huge core that followed me over because we have what I call the founders group, which are people that have been with me for a minimum of 9 years or more.
Oh, good.
And those are part of, the founders table, and those tables get reserved and things like that. But we really try to make it people feel comfortable. So I go to table. I talk to them. Where are you from? What are you doing? We had some kids that had come in from Texas, and the father said, my son's been staring at you the entire time. And I was like, okay, let's be clear. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm adorable, but I'm not somebody some little boy is going to crush on. And so I guess he was just fascinated that I had the mic. Right. He was just fascinated that I had the mic. So what I did was at halftime, I let him do the announcements for me. And I let him pick out, the raffles and things like that. So I think we try to make it very, very comfortable for people. We had one of the largest turnouts last summer for the preseason game, and I was totally shocked. And so it's going well, and I want it to continue to go well. And we just continue to do different things. So like one of our group, he wrote a book. He's a fiction writer. And so we invited everybody to come and do a book signing with him. We've done things in the past where people knew about our group and invited us, like when Stephen A. Smith, excuse me, I'm barfing. That was me barfing when I said his name.
I have no love for ESPN either.
I got no love for Stephen A. Smith.
Okay,
exactly.
Yes. So let's be clear about that. He's an intellectual masturbator that loves to hear his own voice. Like, I so can't with him. I cannot stand him. But he used to have a show. And when he had that show, one of his people knew about the Cowboy group. So anytime there was a Cowboy player on, they would call us to go and watch. And then someone who, Michael Kay, runs the Center Stage show. I don't know if he's still doing it, but he would have
he
football.
Still does it.
Yeah, he would have football players come on. So one time he had Jerry Jones there. And they called me. They were like, we want you to come. We know it's a work day. I was like, are you kidding me? I called my boss. I was like, let me just say it this way. The owner of the Cowboys is in town. She's like, yeah, I'll see you next week. I was like, great, bye. She knew I wasn't coming to work. So we went and they asked me, they said, look, if we have time for questions, we want you to ask a question. I was like, okay. And so it was really almost surreal. We walk into the theater and apparently someone had walked in and they were sitting in a certain place. The person goes over, she's like, yeah. I need all of you five to get up. I need her to sit here with her people. I was like, hot damn, this is awesome. So we sit down. I realized why she put me there. When Jerry Jones was talking, anytime he looked at the audience, it was me he saw. And I definitely have an awesome smile. So we're sitting there. Of course, I don't like him. He fired Tom Landry. He, of course, ruined our life with his issues with Jimmy Johnson, and then Barry Switzer, and then he wouldn't get rid of Wade, who looks like the Michelin tire man, although he should have kept him for the defense, right? Killer defense guy, Wade Wilson, right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to stay calm. I'm going to keep an open mind. During that, Michael Kay really did ask the hard questions and said, what were you thinking about firing Tom Landry? How do you feel about that decision? What about Jimmy Johnson? And he took ownership. He was like, yeah, that was a mistake. I probably could have done that better. I was new. The thing with Jimmy Johnson, I thought that our personal friendship would, handle everything. That was wrong, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh, maybe he's not too bad. Of course, there wasn't time for questions because it's Jerry Jones. So they get up and he starts walking towards the audience. And you can see the fright in his bodyguard's eyes that was not what they expected him to do. He got up, he makes a beeline for me, grabs my hand and says, young lady, you have a beautiful smile. You keep that. And I was like, oh, maybe I do like Jerry Jones. Maybe I do. Maybe he is my favorite. Maybe I love him. And then he wouldn't get rid of Wade for another 3 years, so I broke up with him again.
Yeah, he learned everything he knows from Steinbrenner and Al.
Exactly, right? And he and Steinbrenner, before Steinbrenner passed, they had a working relationship. They were the ones that were working on the model for what concessions should look like in all new stadiums. Yeah. So my guess is that's probably still going on, even though Steinbrenner passed away. But the two of them together were working on that. And actually, Roger Staubach and Tony Dorsett were working on it a little bit with them as well. So yeah, I'm really up on the team, and I used to be a consultant and I used to travel. And when I would go to Texas, I'm not going to lie, I would just research as much as I could if Tony Dorsett was going to be doing any speaking engagements while I was there. Now these days that's called premeditated stalking, but back then it was fine. So I never went to jail. It was awesome.
That's good.
And yeah, that's important, right?
There you go. Before we get off, I want to honor your time here because I know you got an hour drive and you got a preseason game.
Yeah, I do have to get ready.
So, just what message do you have for Cowboys fans going into the season? And then,
well, I would say that step back and breathe for a second. And would we like to have one dynamic wide receiver? Of course we would. However, it's also great to have a plethora of them that we can look and see. We've got Zeke, we've got Dak, and you know what? Let them grow and let them do what they're doing. The defense actually have looked pretty good in preseason. We continue to have some issues on some of our players, suspensions and such, and some injuries, but we really are poised. And I think the other key message is I believe we're the second youngest team in the NFL. That should make people really happy. When you are the second youngest team, that means you have some time. You have some time to really solidify that group, get it right, and then do another dynasty. You know what I mean? And end up with doomsday defense, end up where we're really just taking it over. So I think that's really important. And don't focus on the losses. Focus on what we have and the fact that finally, I pray that Jason Garrett understands, stop being vanilla, because everybody knows what you're getting ready to do. You have to mix it up. And I think because we have so many new players, I think you have no choice but to mix it up. So to me, that gives me hope.
All right. Well, that's a good message. I only have one more question.
Yes.
If you're being completely honest, I think I heard this from somebody in an email. What's your second favorite team?
Oh, my second favorite team, I got to be honest, it's got to be the Raiders.
All right.
Because, they're the Raiders, man. Whether you want to admit it or not, you got to love, everybody loves the bad boys. Right? Everybody secretly loves them. And, Al was a complete full-on nut. But look at what he did. Look at the dynasty he built. Look at what he created. And you gotta love it. And I cannot wait. I am not a big fan of Vegas, but I cannot wait until they play the Cowboys in Vegas.
Well, we'll see you there.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah, I hope so. And, thank you so much for reaching out. If there's anything else, if you want to talk to some of the other folks from the group, anything you need, love it. I love the opportunity. I'd love to come on again if it works. We could talk about women in sports and the stereotypes of how they don't think we know football. Thank you, Cam Newton. And we'll keep it moving.
All right, that's awesome.
Cool.
Thanks for coming on, and I'll send you the link. The show will be up next Thursday.
Okay, thank you guys. Have a good time.
Have a good one.
Go
too.
Cowboys. Have a good one. Bye.
Go Raiders.
Bye.
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 Once again, the final score, the Oakland Raiders 27, the Dallas Cowboys 23.
Hey, what's up? You're listening to the Fan Club Blitz with Splatterhead and Fitz, posted by the NJ Black Hole. We are here at the Irish Cottage in Hamburg, New Jersey.
Well, all right.
Wow.
I guess we already did the off the rails segment.
Wow. Wait, is it? Did I miss the preseason game? Is
Yes,
this Saturday?
It was 3 days ago.
Okay.
She is by far the most bubbly born and raised New Yorker I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never heard anybody from New York City talk like that.
Yeah.
Ever.
Very bubbly. She should almost be from Kansas City or something.
Yeah.
Where the bubbly people live. Wow.
Yeah. Well, so if you're a Cowboys fan and you're listening to this show for some reason,
Oh, you got to hear
you now know everything
Yes.
that you could possibly want to know, and then some.
Yes.
About the Cowboys fan club in New York City.
Yes, go there. She'll put you up at the plaza.
That's right. Yeah.
Which is weird, and
Just wear a jersey. For God's sakes, wear a jersey.
Go, yeah, a Cowboys jersey.
Yeah,
So you're not
Cowboys
getting in.
jersey.
And don't, yeah.
watch whatever shirt you're wearing underneath too. If you have to take that jersey off,
That's
or whatever,
right, or they're going to
it might
make
be
you
bounce right onto the
They're going to
corner.
make you change the name of your kid or something. You got to give up your firstborn.
I gotta say though, all right, we got the whole background of the fan club there. She obviously has a large, impressive group. I've known a lot of Cowboy fans. There's a lot of Cowboy fans around here. I mean, I've always put them into two categories. The ones growing up like the Tom Landry, Roger Staubach fans. Okay, but then then you had that whole new wave of the Jimmy Johnson, Johnny Come Lately, the Cowboys. I'm all of a sudden I'm the biggest Cowboy fan in the world because they're winning every year. Like those two groups. But I've also noticed, you go out into a bar to watch a game, you'll see 10 or 12 dudes with Cowboy jerseys on. None of them are even talking to each other. They're not even sitting near each other. They're just I know before we had our group here, if you go to a bar, we'd go to watch a Raiders game. You saw one or two other dudes with Raiders jersey on, you go right to them. And you're hanging out.
You congregate.
Yes.
These guys are they're almost they don't even want to know each other. They're all wearing all their cowboy crap, and it's but they don't even talk. Very strange.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I don't know. Every time I think of the Cowboys, it's King of the Hill for me.
There you go.
I can't get past that.
I think
that's about the only good representation of the Cowboys anyway.
I think if you walked into that board, into the playwright during Cowboys Day, there's only one person doing any talking.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm gonna walk in there Raider stuff.
I was thinking the same thing, Ty. It might be a road trip for us boys. Like maybe on a bye week or something.
Yeah, we're not playing the Cowgirls this season now. So one season, maybe when we're playing.
Yeah,
it'd be fun. Caravan.
Yeah, I'll go walking right in.
I do hope for their sake that they no more Dez, but I do hope that somewhere in the future they get another receiver that is overly hyped out of college and really does nothing for the team.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can get that.
And we play them that year.
Yeah. And make sure when you do get that receiver, make sure he drops a lot of crucial passes.
There you go. And let's. I'm tired of talking about the Cowboys. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
I've had all the Cowboys. I'm all filled up with Cowboys.
Unless Tom rips out some King of the Hill episodes, I'm done too.
In about 2 weeks, ESPN's going to pick them to win the Super Bowl anyway, like they do every other year.
Yeah. And they're going to tell us how great the Chargers are going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think they already did that. That Cowherd jackass isn't on ESPN, is he?
Yeah, I don't know what channel he's on. Maybe, I don't know. I know he's an idiot.
Yeah. He spent an hour telling us how good the Chargers are.
I love the Chargers talk.
Yeah.
I keep loving it. This is Phillip Rivers' year. Yeah, you know what? He's 83
how many years
old now.
How many years is he going to have that don't come to fruition?
Yeah. Listen, they had this shot when Schottenheimer was at the team when he was coaching, and then they dumped him after he got them to that level, and it's been a downhill slide for him.
I hope they never win a Super Bowl.
They're not gonna because they don't win. They don't hire coaching staff that can win Super Bowls.
Well,
I
hope they never do.
They're the it's almost like they're a satellite Andy Reid coach team.
Yeah.
One and done. That's it. You're good enough to win the division, and then you're out the door.
And they're losers.
That's it.
And they're losers. Let's face it. What kind of team you have? And granted, except when Rivers has like his mental meltdowns, he is a solid quarterback. He can play the game. But you have a young Rivers, and you have at that time the best running back in football with LaDainian Tomlinson. How do you not win? I mean, really, like you just self-destruct because you're a team of losers.
Yeah.
Losers.
Chokers.
San Diego losers.
Yeah. San Diego.
Yeah. They should
big
have
empty stadium
change
there.
it to a fart coming out of somebody's butt.
Even though they're the L.A. Chargers, we're still going to refer to them as San Diego because that's what they are.
It doesn't matter.
So,
Yeah. Even though I know so many people from San Diego that hate them now. They won't even. Like, well, maybe you guys should have supported your team when they were there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
sad. Any San, even the Padres, you see their games on TV and you look in to see, you see are servicemen that get free tickets because the base, they're like, hey, come on. If you take them out of it, there's nobody in the
My son goes to the Padres games because he gets tickets for like $5.
Yeah. You take the Navy guys out, there's nobody there because nobody cares.
And he doesn't even like baseball, but he's like,
it's something to do.
He's like, I get tickets to the Padres games, but he's going to try and get tickets to the one of the Raiders games this season.
All right.
He's going to hit up the base up in Alameda there and see if he can score some tickets for me and him. So I'm taking a trip out. Hey, you know what? I think it's time.
Is it time? Oh, I can't. My favorite part of the day.
Let's hear the truth.
With
Tom.
Here we go. Wait, hold on. Let me buckle up here. Go ahead. It's a birthday boy
segment.
segment.
Out there, Raider Nation.
No pasa de nada.
What does that mean?
No pasa de nada. It means nothing. Nothing's happening. Tom.
Okay, nothing's happening. Okay, all right. My New Jersey Spanish is like kind of like under the weather. So, Raider Nation, please stop sending that stupid meme of the Seattle Seahawks locker room with the flag burning in the middle of it. It is bullshit. It is fake. Stop freaking making comments on these posts that your brother's, sister's, father's former college roommate was there and his friend took the picture. You're lying. Shut up. It's fake. If that flag was burning, all of the sprinkler systems would go off in the whole building. They'd all be drowned like rats.
There'd be smoke in it too.
It's stop it. Stop perpetuating that garbage. I hate the Seahawks as much as everybody else does, but I'm not going to go out of my way to make myself look like a dumbass doing it. And that's all you people are doing. Okay? Please stop. Later, skaters.
And that was the truth with Tom.
I'm glad he cleared that up, though, because I always was curious about how you can, not even the flag, you could set a piece of cloth on fire and no smoke produced from it.
Yes.
That's the amazing part of that picture.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. There's really
Yeah,
not
you
much-
got that
much-
stupid
much else
picture.
to
If
say.
you look, there's a fire sprinkler like
Yeah, I
about
know.
2 feet above the flame. You know,
I mean,
they're all soaked.
I mean,
Use some common sense, for Christ's
even
sake.
doing that? I mean, you wouldn't even in reality, like
Yeah.
nobody's doing that in real life. Come on.
Yes.
That's not Kuwait or Saudi Arabia or some crap.
Yeah.
They're not lighting American flags on fire in locker rooms.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So please stop. For God's sake, stop.
Yeah. Knock it off.
Leave that shit to the Patriots fans.
And listen,
the
that is-
Eagles fans. The Redskins fans. The Donkeys. Leave that crap for them.
So wait.
They're idiots.
That actually poses a question, though. You say that the Patriots fans. Do you think that there's people in locker rooms lighting the underwear that Tom Brady wears on fire? That we covered, the girls'
might
underwear that we covered in the last
Yeah.
episode, you know?
I don't know. There might be people in like seedy back rooms and alleys lighting Tom Brady's underwear.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, New England people, give us a call if you have any kind of insight on Tom Brady's women's underwear fire.
Yeah, we want to
stuff.
know what patterns on them. Like polka dots or...
I'm thinking maybe like little duckies or something.
No,
Duckies.
come on, man. It's Hello Kitty.
There you go.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Brady ain't wearing nothing but Hello Kitty shit.
My Little Pony, maybe.
All right, what do you guys say we take a break here?
All right, sounds
I
good.
think we need one.
Let's get it. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dominate. Hey, y'all gotta show me something. Hey, let's go. Pick this up. They don't get in.
Second down and goal. They run it. Melee the tight end and end around. He dives for the end zone and he's in for a touchdown.
Hey, man, not like that.
All right, I guess break is over.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah.
Full throttle, baby.
Okay.
How'd you guys do on break time?
I did fine.
Looks like
good.
kickoff is
Yeah, we have some sort of error code.
we need Chris
The
Potts.
satellite.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's crazy. In New Jersey, it's very odd this summer, but it's raining right now.
Yeah.
It usually doesn't happen here this year, but
It's rained like every day for the last 6
Yeah,
months. it feels
usually
like.
by this time in August, we're like in the middle of a drought. And,
yeah.
the tree huggers are screaming we're all going to die and everything else. And now they're screaming, when is the rain going to stop? Everything's dying. So,
Yeah,
6
just-
of one, half dozen of the other, man.
There's actually a pretty funny meme going around, something to the effect of like, "Wow, I can't believe it's only rained 2 days this summer. One day for 37 days and 1 day for 70 days."
Yeah. So, are we going to talk about football or are we going to go off the rails now?
Listen, this is the fan club Blitz, so no, we're not going to talk about football.
No.
What the hell's
right.
the matter with you?
What the hell do I know about football anyway?
Football is something that's in the background while we drink over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
It is
I'm
on.
tired of having to explain.
It is on in the background right now.
Literally.
Yeah, yes, it is. Yes.
It's with our quarterback of the future going to be playing.
Yes, and apparently the Raiders are 3 and out. So for
All right.
all you people keeping score out there. So
we got a lot of black hole people wandering in
that's,
here
that's
now.
where we
Look at
are.
this.
They're starting to
got a lot of
pile
our
up.
club.
I'm getting that
club
warm
pulling
fuzzy
up.
feeling. We got all the.
We got Rosie in the audience. She has been here in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Miller just walked in the door. We got Don and Kathleen. We got the crowd here.
Yeah, we get a crowd.
And he might even get a spot on the microphone tonight, but the notorious Mr.
Yeah.
Chris Potts.
The notorious Chris Potts. He's been mad since like December.
Yeah.
He's been mad.
Yeah.
And he's only getting madder now that the game's on.
Right now, he's
He's mad at the
in-
TV.
He's in pre-meltdown mode right now,
Yeah.
which is good. It can, we were just actually discussing like what type of carpet runner we should get for when he paces back and forth during the season, because we don't want him to wear out the wood floors in here.
I'm sure Dead Pirate Sports has a carpet runner Raiders thing.
It's got to be thick though.
If not, they'll make one. Actually,
artificial grass maybe. Like
if we're getting a carpet runner, it should be like the donkeys on it or something.
Yeah,
so we
exactly.
can wipe our feet when we walk in the door.
Yeah, let them wear it out real good.
Take a dump on it.
Yeah, Kansas City Chiefs.
So, all right, listen. So, let's start this off now.
We're going somewhere.
We're going. It's nowhere good.
The ideas are coming back.
Yeah, right. Barely. I'm telling you, I got to say that the Dallas lady, I came in with.
She fried your brain.
A head full of ideas. Done. It was like, maybe from last week's episode, Chuck was talking about his California days and driving to the city. He mentioned briefly in passing that good California green. It felt like that we just had some. Now I'm just like, I had an idea in my head. Now it's gone.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah.
I ran into a telephone pole when I left here before. I did. I backed into a telephone pole.
Nice.
Like, what the hell did I just hit?
Yeah, it took the life out of you. It's crazy.
It was in my blind side, which was a whole half of my brain after that.
So I'm gonna vent a little bit here, only because, and I have the forum to do it. I threw a message out to everybody a while ago, just asking like food, pregame, tailgate. If you're at a game, if you're at a bar, if you're at home on game day, what do you like to eat? We all have our certain things we like. Not a hard request. I got like 2 responses. I think one of them was my son, because I said, "Hey, answer this." So it looks like people are answering, so we can get something going here.
Right.
So basically, so far I got from like the 3 responses was wings and nachos.
Wings and nachos.
It's a very interactive segment. That
I like wings and nachos.
I know you do. Yes, I do. But,
yeah.
But listen, if you're listening out there, it's still time. We're trying to fill space here, people, before the season starts. There's only so much preseason stuff we can talk about. We want give us some ideas. Maybe some, listen, how many people do you know, like Chuck said last week, eat carne asada? Like that's
I
not
like
a common
carne asada.
thing. Yeah, it is. It's a great thing. I love them too, but you don't hear many people say that's what I'd like to have like as a tailgate.
Right.
You see me. I'm a big proponent on the tailgates at the stadium. Somebody cooking up their specialties. I love that crap. I've jumped in there several times on our forays down to Giant Stadium, MetLife, whatever you call it. To me, that's great. I've done it at my house. I've done it at other people's houses. It's great. Bar food, I'm not big on when I'm sitting here drinking in a bar. I mean, I could cook much better food at my house.
Yeah.
But I'm big on eating. Steak sandwiches. Good burgers. You get good hot dogs. Sausage. There's like freaks out there that do like lobster, shrimp.
Yeah.
I don't get into the seafood, but I do at home, but not at tailgates.
Right.
Good hearty, soaking up the beer food, man.
Absolutely.
That's what
yes.
I'm big on that.
And I'm guessing that there's not going to be any like bacon cheeseburgers with ShopRite bacon.
No. The ShopRite bacon, thankfully, is all gone, and I hit the mom and pop store, and I got myself a couple of pounds of really good bacon from a small weird farmer up on 206 and whatever it is up there, Wantage, whatever 206 is when it goes up that way.
Oh yeah, you get
by Stokes.
Right.
I don't even know what the Sandiston.
Yeah.
But there was like a weird guy. He had goats and he had really good bacon. So
you shoot one of the goats?
No, I didn't shoot the goats.
Maybe
the goats are cool. I'd take one home, but he wanted $300 for him. I don't want to pay $300
for a goat
and raise the goat and then have to chop it up for some sort of weird soup. So.
It's funny you said that you shoot the goat, because the back of my mind I'm thinking, like, wouldn't it have been funny if the bacon he got was from the cow that the dude from Brooklyn shot?
Which Potts reminded me it was a Red Angus cow.
Yes.
that the deer hunting madman from Brooklyn shot.
Yeah, that still baffles me. It's a cow, man. Like it's like I don't
Fitz.
know. It's a cow. How do you mistake a cow for anything besides
how
a cow?
many deer are walking around Brooklyn?
How many cows?
Yeah, but
Now, wait a minute.
You
Wait a
see
minute.
Pictures of cows.
There weren't any deer walking around Salinas, California either, but I knew the difference between a deer and a cow.
Then maybe the education system in Salinas, California is a little better than Brooklyn, New York.
I don't know. I was never in school.
Okay.
Like I'm saying,
Maybe that's why you know what a deer is.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm
Because
guessing.
you're out riding around getting stoned and you hit one.
May have happened.
You see?
I don't know.
Now we're getting down to the nitty gritty of it.
May have happened.
Like I said, the guy at one point in his life must have had that little kid's game where you know the cow says there's a picture of a cow on there. Like you got to know it's a cow.
Yeah.
All right, enough about killing the cows.
Yeah, that was last week's episode.
Yeah.
I've told it.
I know my brain's shot.
It is. Thank you,
Completely
Dallas.
fried. We're punting again.
Yeah, of course we're punting again.
Oh wait, do we? Oh, that's great. We don't have a punter that'll boom like a 65-yard punt and then we
dance?
lose 15 after because he's got to dance around like a jackass out in the field.
Yeah, he's Donkey's problem.
Yeah, he's Donkey's problem.
Yeah, it's nothing like that. It's I had that argument with a few other Raider fans saying, no, the guy, he'd always put the ball inside the 5-yard line. I go, yeah, and then we started on the 30 because he danced around and he got a personal foul.
Exactly.
So stop.
Knock it off.
It's all right. Let's get off the rails now. What are we doing?
I thought we were off the rails.
We're kind of getting back on the rails. I think we're talking about football.
Uh-oh. All right.
Wow.
What are we doing here?
I'm going to a distillery in a little while.
He's going to a distillery.
Yes.
Milk Street.
Yes, Milk Street in Branchville, New Jersey.
It's a good distillery.
Yeah, they got some
very
great
good,
drinks.
award-winning small distillery
Very
that
small.
produces some very good stuff out of North Jersey.
Yep, they do vodkas, they do rums.
Yeah, vodka,
whiskey.
rum, whiskey, bourbon, rye.
They're great dudes. They're great guys. Their rum is ridiculous.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Oh.
My lady Michelle is a big rummer, and she always gets a bottle of rum when she goes there.
So
She's like,
good.
that rum is top notch.
I like.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
good
like
stuff.
their white rye.
Yeah.
It's like moonshine. It has that moonshine taste to it.
yeah.
And
Has the aged whiskey come out yet?
the fall. It's supposed to. He actually had some.
Yeah, and he gave me a
There's
little
a-
sample, but
Another
Yeah.
new one coming out. I think I think he said it's gonna be ready in like October.
Yeah.
Maybe, or it might be. I think it was a bourbon that he was aging.
Yeah, the bourbon takes a while.
Tom,
One
when
of
you,
them's coming out in October. I think.
when you get over there, can you ask him if he can do something with cucumber?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask
He's
him.
gonna tell you. He's gonna tell you what you can do with that cucumber.
Actually, I think they have a cucumber drink on the menu that's
Yeah.
made with rum and or vodka. One of the rum or vodka drinks is something with cucumber.
They must have a Chiefs fan that hangs out there.
Yeah.
I've never
So-
had like my wife gets the mixed drinks. I've never had one of their pre-mixed drinks. I either get like the white rye or the rum on the rocks. I've
Yeah.
never had. She said they're really good. I'm guessing they are. You know. But
Yeah.
I had some kind of thing over there with with beer and vodka and some kind of Russian commie thing that they have on the menu.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the place. I like the fact that the guy always hooked me up good because he liked the fact that I would drink the white rye.
Yeah.
Neat. Nothing with it. He'd be like, you know what? He goes, this one's on me too. And he goes, and I'm giving you a bigger glass.
Yeah,
I'm like, thank you.
it's a pretty harsh shot to take, man. That
It's
rye,
good, though.
man.
It's good though.
Fitz is a trooper, man.
It's good stuff, man. It's, some people have other names for me than that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alcoholic.
I'm sure
might
they
come to
do.
mind. I don't know.
Yeah. You don't go to meetings, right?
No, that's
Wow,
for-
that's what separates you
Listen,
from an
I
alcoholic.
am. Listen, I do not like a quitter.
No,
Quitters get nowhere in life.
absolutely
You
not.
find something, you strive to be the best
I always
at whatever you.
Like
gonna
I
be.
can always tell when one of my friends has a problem, you know. Like if I get up in the morning and I crack open a beer at like 9:30, right, and I get take it into the shower with me or whatever, and then one of my buddies is like, "You drinking before 12?" Yeah, like that's when you have a problem when you start making these damn rules.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
live by the man's
yes.
time clock.
I'm thirsty right now.
The last time I
You,
heard,
you start making rules for yourself, then that's you might have issues.
yes, the last time I heard you're drinking before 12, I said, well, my ancestors are from Poland. It was 12 hours ago.
Right.
There you
So
go.
actually, I'm late.
Yeah.
Technically, it's after 12 from the day before.
It's
So,
always after 12
Where are we going
someplace.
to go?
Yes.
We can
But again, I
can
just
figure this out
I
a
just
lot of
don't.
different ways.
I don't make these arbitrary rules.
No.
You know.
No.
If I'm thirsty, if I want a beer, I have a beer.
Exactly.
And you know what? I always have, we've all come across that statement like, oh my God, you drink up before 12. And I always found the best answer for that, and I know that editing Chuck is going to have to get his car horn ready. The proper answer to that is, I am, so go yourself.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty
Honk.
simple. There you go. I can't wait to.
Honk, honk,
I
honk.
love hearing that car horn.
Yeah, I didn't even use the car horn on the last
No.
episode.
Yeah, I tried, and you know what? And like it took too much out of me trying not to curse. It's so ingrained in me. Like it's like an unnatural act.
Oh, we got Rams homers calling the game. Look at these idiots.
Yeah.
Their collared shirts.
Look how cute they are.
Wow.
With their little.
Man, I feel sorry for you people. Have to watch those dopes all season. Man. You guys got to have the dumbest looking announcers ever, Los Angeles Rams fans. Holy crap.
Well, look at it goes cute with their little horn helmets things there. Like, it kind of looks like some type of like should I go into the realm of it looks kind of like a toy or something like that? The way it swirls around, you gotta get it in
Jesus.
there. Like, the horn's gonna be coming out quite a bit today.
We're crashing the car now.
We're hitting another telephone pole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't do too much damage though. It was just a little.
Okay.
Little dent right over the fender.
See that the Bears are playing the Broncos. That should be a real rip 'em up game.
All right.
Two more loser teams. All right.
So that's where I'm going off the rails. I'm going to the distillery, and I'll probably leave my car here, and
Yeah.
I'm
think
excited to all
and have
hell.
my daughter and somebody else drive me home if they're not all drunk and stoned too. So
I think your chariot awaits.
Yeah, I think she just walked in.
And in case anybody's wondering, there's a special reason that our Truth with Tom guy is going to the distillery today because he's the birthday boy today.
Yeah, it's
right.
my birthday.
Happy birthday, Tom.
Yes, 52 years old. I
All
don't
right.
know. I don't know any better than I did 10 years ago.
Now,
And
So-
what else you have to know?
I don't
You
have to know anything.
You know everything you need to know already.
I don't. I know everything.
just like
you know
us.
how to get here, right?
Yes, I know how to get
home.
here.
You
Yes.
know how to get to the distillery.
Yes,
You're covered.
that's all I need.
odds were against you to make it past 25, and here you are. 52.
Hey, I made it, man.
There you go.
Look at those idiots that said you never amount to anything.
That's
Look
it. I plan on taking that nice slow downhill gate to the end.
There you
There
go.
you go.
Nice and slow, nice and easy.
Well,
So-
I think when you head off to the distillery, we're gonna get Potts on for a meltdown.
Yeah, I think-
have him say a couple of words.
Yeah, the Potts Panic Hour.
Yeah.
He's gonna get on here and regale you with his tales of manic depression.
Yeah. You've all heard about the mythical creature, Chris
Yes.
Potts.
He's here.
Now you
Live
can
in person.
meet him.
It's
Yeah, he's like a unicorn.
I love the there's about a week, probably about a week's worth of panic the week after the draft. But I don't know. You think these guys are going to work out? I'm not sure. They seem pretty good. I'm not sure though.
Yeah.
There's some. I'm like I go to Chuck. I go. The panic is starting already. I go. It's April. Like,
Yep.
I go. It's going to be a long season.
It's gonna be good stuff.
That's.
Last year I thought he was gonna have a heart attack.
There was a couple times he was iffy, man.
Yeah. We
almost asked Damien for one of those EED machines.
Well, the good thing is,
Zap him back.
the good thing is, not only do we have an EMT here, we also have a coroner.
Oh, well, there we go. So yeah,
We're set.
yeah,
So if it goes bad, if Carrie's not here to save him, we got somebody to just cart him out.
Yeah.
It goes good.
In fact, I gotta ask Don. We should all ask Don to save some good livers for us.
Yeah, you want that one? I'll tell you what,
Yeah,
You're
that
onto
could work.
something now.
Yes.
Like you're an undertaker or whatever you
Yeah.
want to call these guys now.
Nobody's gonna notice when
Organ
they.
harvesting.
Nobody's gonna notice when they look.
I
when
would.
they look into the casket, they're not gonna notice that. Hey, did
Hold
you
on.
take my dad's liver?
I just took my dad's shirt off and there's a scar. Like wait,
Right.
where's his liver? Where is it?
I'd be on
I
a
don't know.
corner in Newark selling kidneys.
Yeah. But
with that kind of money, I'd be out in Oakland every week for
There you
a
go.
home game.
yeah,
You can see
that's
it now.
awesome.
Corner, right in the middle of downtown Newark. Tom's freshly harvested organs.
Yeah.
It's a 2-for-1 special
Get
day.
a little kiosk on Broad Street.
A
Hey,
Newark-
man, you need a kidney?
Buy one kidney,
You
get
feel
the
right
other
at
one free.
home, but going from Newark to Oakland is pretty much the
exactly.
same thing.
Yeah, not much of difference. So, all right, gents.
All right.
I'm out of here today, and I'll leave you to Chris Potts.
You had
All right, later,
Right at
next
the
week,
store.
people.
Later. Yeah, the distillery's in for a treat. Happy birthday to you. See you later, Tom.
later, Tommy. Tom Spicoli.
Uh-oh.
You know,
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing okay.
We
I'm
got Chris Potts on the show.
the mythical creature that is.
I'm hooking him up to a machine right now. We're going to check his pulse rate. I just want to see where we're at.
You can't. Uh-oh. We need the EMT.
Now I got
See, maybe it came undone.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Now I can.
Okay.
We need the EMT. Chris can't hear.
I'm good now.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good now.
All right. You got to talk a little louder,
You're
too.
not seeing spots,
Hello?
are you?
Hello?
You're replacing Tom.
He's
No one can replace
Exactly.
Tom.
He is
Yeah.
irreplaceable.
He's
Well,
the- we designated him the mouthpiece of our group, man.
That's
Remember?
right. That's right. So, how you been in the off season?
I'm actually good this year. Last year I was ready to kill somebody.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
You
This
pointed.
year I'm pretty good. This year,
All right, good. You pointed out that there was a red Angus cow.
Yes,
That's good,
yes, yeah.
Good addition for the show.
because I was actually working next to a couple of them yesterday.
See, we have follow up when we
Yes.
bring you news, and then we come back with follow up. So
Listen,
it's good stuff.
We bring you stupid, ridiculous but we have follow-up to it.
That's right.
But it's knowledgeable.
There you go.
That's what it is.
So now, like,
you
when
need to
you're,
know.
all you listeners, like, when your great-great-grandchildren tell this tale they heard on our podcast, they can now say it was a red Angus deer, cow,
Yeah.
deer.
Right.
Deer,
Yep.
cow.
Red
Yeah.
Angus
Cow
deer.
deer.
It was
Red
a
Ang-
red
red Ang-
Angus goat.
Yeah, red Angus deer that sits about
Deer
10
cow.
feet high.
Right,
you know?
about
So-
10
so
feet.
like
That's
a deer.
big
Minus the
deer.
rack.
Yeah.
So like a
don't
deer
know.
on steroids.
How'd that guy get it into his truck?
I'm praying hope it wasn't a full-size one, man, because you have to have a winch for that or something,
Yeah.
right?
If it was a full size one, I'm impressed that he got it into a truck and was able to drive it without.
He's
See you later, Tom.
Hey, that was a gang tackle.
Nice.
and 0-0.
That's all right. I don't care about the score.
I don't
Just
really.
turn the scoreboard off. Nobody cares.
Just no one important get hurt. That's what
Oh,
we care
knock that
about.
one on there.
So, Potts, you been listening to the show?
Oh, every time.
All right, great.
Download it. It's always on my
Nice.
phone.
Nice. And you always in New Jersey, so you weren't traveling around Alabama.
No, I wasn't. Fortunately, I wasn't in Alabama.
So not only do we have this mythical Chris Potts that you now know is real, but we've got a mystery in Alabama. We got to find out
who's the
da-
one listener?
Who's
That's it.
listening?
I wonder
Who
who
is
it
it?
is.
You know, I lived in Alabama for a little while.
What part of Alabama?
Northern Alabama. I lived in Scottsboro,
Okay.
which is up, maybe I think it's 45 miles east of Huntsville,
Okay.
and and north of Birmingham, and
Okay, yep.
just below Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yep, my wife's family. She has family in Alabama. They
All
live
right.
there. Yeah. Sylacauga, Alabama.
I don't know where that is.
Talladega Raceway.
Great
You
movie.
You know,
I was gonna say
Talladega Nights. Ricky, I don't know where to put my hands. The raceway is like around the corner from their house.
All right,
So,
cool.
So that's
Yeah,
it's like Talladega
I lived there
County.
for a little while. I was probably about 14 years old. Interesting.
Yeah.
I left. My mom was down there with me, and I grew up in California. I was a little spooked out when every person that she introduced me to, she introduced as a cousin.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not possible to have this many cousins.
No.
No, I get freaked out at their airport in Birmingham. You know how like you go to Newark and you need a blood sample, you need all that stuff to get through the gate.
Right.
You know,
You gotta take your shoes and socks off.
I'm going through Birmingham and the guy's going through my bag. He opens it up and he just looks at me and goes, you're good. Just
Yeah.
by one look at me, he goes, it
Right.
just closes up. What the hell
Yeah.
could I had in there?
Yeah,
But I
you're
didn't
not-
have anything in there. I had
You
my
don't
clothes.
look like a terrorist.
Yeah, but I'm just like, they don't do, man. I get the full pat down in Newark.
Well, there's only like 5 people flying in and out of there a day.
Yeah, it's a small airport.
And like you said, they're all cousins with the security people. So like it's
Yeah, it was scary, but I do have deep roots in Alabama.
There you go.
In Scottsboro.
There you go.
It's amazing. You are the least Alabama person I've ever.
I thought he wasn't getting a sandwich.
She didn't make me a sandwich.
Oh, all right.
I think we'll get back on track for a second, and we've got some good interviews coming up.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to.
We're wrapping up this off-season stuff, but at the end of preseason, I'm going to start doing our routine. So the game against the Seahawks up in Seattle, preseason game. Well, I have an interview with the Black Hole Seattle chapter.
Nice.
So we're going to talk to them. And then for the rest of the games throughout the season, we're switching gears, and we're only talking to Raiders clubs and clubs and teams that we're playing.
You do got to get me on for a meltdown, though, or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know it's going to go sideways.
Yeah, well, we're going to be recording on game day from now on. And you'll be here, and we're going to have the Chris Potts meltdown.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're just once we figure out the logistics of what time we're going to meet and when we're going to do all.
Yeah, no problem.
We're going to be doing game day.
No, but
we'll be doing all the podcasts on game day. We'll be here a little early for that, and that way we don't.
And even better, fan, just like Chuck said, any of you fan club people out there listening to this, not only do we want to interview, like Chuck said, whoever team is playing Oakland or our Oakland booster clubs. We would love to do an interview with you while you're tailgating at the stadium. That would be awesome.
That'd be excellent.
Hey, here's the thing too. So I know a lot of the people listening, most of the people listening, all the people listening except for the other teams that we've interviewed are Raiders fans.
Yes.
All right, guys, if you have any friends that are fans of these crappy teams, would you? Reach out and find out, do they have booster clubs? Do they have fan clubs? Because I'm getting zero response or having a hard time finding. I found 49ers clubs. I found Colts clubs, but they don't seem to respond to my emails.
There was 2 49er fans sitting at the bar.
I don't want to talk to them.
No, but it was funny how they found out it was a Raiders club, and they're like, all right, we're in the wrong place. We got to go.
That's
Good.
right.
But it's the way it should be.
Keep going.
If you're a 49ers fan, you're always in the wrong place.
Oh, hell yeah, they are.
Even in San Francisco.
Yeah, you're always in the wrong place.
Hey, my buddy,
gold and red. Come on.
My one buddy's a diehard 49ers fan. I get it. We were kids, and he's still a 49ers fan, so he never changed. But he sends me a picture of Richard Sherman's jersey that he's going to buy.
His panties?
Well,
sent you a picture of his panties?
that too. He was going to buy. He goes, "How does this jersey look? It looks good, right?" I was like, "Yeah, it looks great, but it's a Richard Sherman jersey. I'd rather take a dump in it than wear it."
There you go.
And I go, "You hated the guy for years." He goes, "Well, yeah, that's true." And I go, "Why buy it?"
Yeah.
I think I don't. Even there was Raider guys that became. There's guys that became Raiders. I didn't buy their jerseys.
But anyway, what we're doing during the season, I said this at the beginning. Some of you might still be listening. What we're going to do is for all the Raiders home games, we want to interview clubs that support the opposing teams. For the Raiders away games, we're talking to Raiders clubs who live in those cities. I have all those interviews lined up. Guys, if you know any booster clubs or fan clubs of these opposing teams that are coming into Oakland, let them know. We want them on the show, and we'll get them on. I think it'll be fun. That's a fun way to do this.
It's gonna be great, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to, but I still want to meet the 2 guys that make up the entire Cleveland Browns fan club.
Yeah, well, we'll find out.
It's 2, right?
They're called the
2.
Browns Backers. Is the name of the club.
I want to meet both of them.
But it'll be cool because we can reach out to the Indianapolis Colts fan club in Oakland and find out what bar they're going to be watching the game from, because they're not going to the Coliseum and setting up a tailgate.
No.
But they can tell us what bar they're going to hang out in, and then I think it'd just be fun to talk to them. But anyway. On that note, let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
Let's say goodbye to everybody.
Can I just say one thing to Raider Nation? Stop complaining about the announcing team being replaced. They don't predict an out. They don't worry about the product on the field. Worry about the product on the field. Yes, Greg Papa left. Yes, he was the voice for 20-some years. Get it.
The time for mourning is over.
Yeah, it's he doesn't.
You get upset about it for 5 minutes and then you move on.
He doesn't. There's no wins or losses with him.
No. You know, touchdown Raiders is always nice to hear.
Yeah, it's
But
great.
he didn't
It's a
score the
nostalgic thing.
touchdowns.
Exactly.
Yeah,
All right.
We've now replaced it with 1, 2, 3,
and
first down.
And you can't say like
Right.
I'm a young fan. I mean, I've been a fan since I was 6. So it's like
Yeah.
Bill King. He was the greatest. But it's like he replaced him. But they got it. Just stop. Worry about the product on the field.
Yeah.
Worry about what we're doing on the field.
Absolutely. And
All
it
right,
looks like
guys.
we're doing
All right.
something on the field.
That was
here.
my light take on that. Wait till the season goes.
Oh, I
when
can't
I'm
wait.
really
We're gonna,
pissed off.
We're going to have not only with the meltdown, Potts meltdown, we're going to hopefully get some kind of video footage to go with it. We're going to video him
Yeah,
pacing back
we'll
and
figure
forth.
that out at some point.
My
Smashing
doctor was
windows.
going to put me on blood pressure medicine, but he said, no, you're too young. Years ago. Now he'd be like, man, you need it.
Yeah.
It'd be pumping it into you with a needle.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Alrighty.
get the hell out of here.
Wrap this up. Let's
Now-
drink. Let's go drink and eat.
Thanks for the Texas lady. We're now a 17-hour show this week.
That's right. All right. You've been
Nice.
listening to the Fan Club Blitz with Splatterhead and Fitz.
Yes, and I promise you
Tom.
next week we're going to come back
And
a
Potts.
little bit more vigor after not getting a life taken out of us.
That's right. All right. Raiders on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Raiders.